Good morning all, my name's Brady from Wow Construction. I'm the Senior Project Manager. Thank you for taking time out your busy days to join us here today ahead of the car park resurfacing works that we're going to undertake. I'd just like to say thank you for choosing us for this prestigious project that we're going to be undertaking. It's nice to sort of finally meet you in person. I know obviously I've been dealing with you a lot on telephone, emails, etc., but it's nice to put a name to the face. So thank you for being here today. Lee, also thank you for doing your due duty and just submitting the F10 for us. Thank you very much. So at Wow Construction, just a bit of a background about us. We've been operating for 12 years. Started out as a really small civil engineering company. We've obviously progressively grown over the years and obviously doubled our turnover. So it puts us in a really strong financial position and obviously gives us the opportunity to work with prestigious clients such as yourselves. We've got obviously all the relevant accreditation as you would have seen on the PQQ. Apologies about that, whatever that was. On this particular project, we expect that there'll be no more than 20 people on site at any one time, and it's a 6-week programme. Now the site operational hours are 7 AM till 5 PM. Now if there's going to be any change to that, obviously we will notify you, but that's what we've put in the CPP, which will be available to you all. So that's going to be a bit of an overview of Wow Construction and the project in general. Now, obviously, as you guys are aware, some of you may not be, the project that we're going to be undertaking is the construction of the car park from Bramley Road, the proposed officers' car park, which will include a total of 118 car parking spaces and 10 disabled bays. I'll just give you a quick introduction to our team before I hand them over to the sort of next stage of the presentation. So obviously, as I introduced myself, I'm the project manager. You've got assistant project manager, which is Mr. Lee Dobson over here. You've got our principal designer, which is Emma Allen, located just here. Site manager, which is Mr. John Marriott. We've got the assistant site manager, Mr. Jason Binch.
Morning.
And leading the charge on site is our site foreman, Mr. Johnny Walker.
Morning.
So thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I'm going to hand you over to our elite team now, which will be led by John and Lee.
Okay, morning everybody. So the site setup, it's going to be in 2 phases, because the car park's got to be built, 2/3 of the car park's got to be built, so that we can then switch over and complete the second bit. The entrance is going to be using the existing entrance into the existing car park. We've managed to secure the existing offices for use as our site offices, which saves a lot of setup problems. Access through the car park will knock the wall out, and we can get into the site. The first thing we'll do is erect the harass fence around the whole perimeter of the site, double clipped, fully secure. As soon as we've got that done, we need to get some harass fencing around the Japanese knotweed area and the contaminated land where the existing factory is. We'll have, again, double clipped harass fencing, lots of signage warning people not to go in, to control that. The security kiosk is going to be right next to the gate, which will also be the fire assembly point. There's going to be a one-way system around the site, which will be guided by barriers. There'll be a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit on site. The storage area is going to be up in the top left corner, with stores and skips. Again, there'll be a fence isolating that area. The pedestrian routes are marked in blue, which will go from the welfare units to the storage area, and from the storage area into the work area. Welfare, like Brady says, has been calculated based on the amount of labour we're expecting on site. The cabins are going to be situated in the top right corner, so we can use the existing services, electric, water, and the foul drain from the existing offices. Surface water runoff from the whole site is going to be collected in a silt buster. We'll use a silt buster system and drain into the existing drain outside the site. We've got permission from the relative from the EA for that. We've got a discharge permit, and that's all sorted out. Parking for people coming onto site will be using the existing car park. There'll be a pedestrian crossing across the access route to the offices. As part of phase one, we've got to make the new entrance into the car park, and for that we're going to have a 5-day period where we've got a lane closure of Bramley Road to do the section 278 works there. We've approached the local authority, we've got all the permits for that. We're putting chapter 8 signage either side of it. There'll be traffic signals, and we're going to keep that to a minimum. The pedestrians will be routed round the outside of the fencing by pedestrian barriers. We'll just take it down to one lane. There'll be signage around approaching the entrance, warning of a site entrance ahead, and I think that's about it for phase one. Have I missed anything? Right.
No, I don't think on phase one. I'll touch on a couple of bits a bit later on after Lee's just done his presentation on phase two. But no, that's it. Thank you, John.
So under phase one, we'll construct the car park in this area here and the site entrance. But Lee's going to take over for phase two. Thanks.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So phase two of the works, the perimeter of Harris fencing won't be changed minimally. Obviously the work area is there, so the new entrance will be off Bramley Road there. So the perimeter fencing will be extended on there, so we can then build the new wall. There's a new wall to go in that area there. The skips and the storage containers, the welfare, the silt buster, everything will stay the same in those areas. The one-way system will still be in operation, the same operation, but obviously we'll be using the entrance off of Bramley Road, and the car park is to the left of that entrance for works parking. The pedestrian areas will be changed. Pedestrian routes will be changed just across from the car park to the office building, and we'll monitor that as we go along as well, just in case there's any issues. Will be signage changing for the works, so there'll be new entrance signage there on the roads for the works as the entrance has changed. And I think that's about it regarding the changes for phase two for the build. I'll hand you back to Brady.
Thank you, Lee. I'm just going to touch on our welfare facilities, but just before that, I just want to draw your attention to this here. So this is Japanese knotweed, which John touched on. That's part of a 3-year programme of treatment at the moment. Now the first treatment was carried out in January of this year. The second treatment is due January 2021, and then obviously the third treatment will be January 2022. Now we did check because we thought there'd be a TPO on this particular tree, and we've got to remove that. There is no TPO on that tree, so that'll be no issues on that front. and this is a disused factory now. So we did think that there'd be an endangered endangered species. So we haven't had a roost report carried out, and we're not likely to disturb any endangered species, no issues on that, so all works can commence without any potential hurdles. Yes, I'm just going to touch on the welfare. So on site, as John mentioned, we're going to have a security compound which will have a toilet block in it. That'll obviously be the male block, which will be 4 urinals, 2 cubicles, and then there'll be a ladies' cubicle adjacent to that with 1 cubicle in. Both of these will obviously have running hot and cold water and a skin safety centre, which will include obviously protect, cleanse, restore creams, and all these will be replenished daily. It will also include an eye station. There's going to be a drying room located next to the toilet block for storage for workwear, to give you a place obviously change into clean, dry clothes at the end of each shift. The existing offices, what John mentioned, that we've managed to acquire, they will be provide full welfare services for all site personnel, clients, site engineers, office mates, etc. So that will be absolutely in full use for any overspill from the actual site. Now this will include a fully operational kitchen with running hot and cold water, plenty of drinking water, the use of 2 microwaves. Now located on the ground floor of the existing office block, there'll be a disabled WC with a fully operational alarm, should require it. And also in the existing office building, we've got a designated prayer room.
Or contemplation room.
Or contemplation room, yeah, for those that may require it. All welfare facilities I've just touched on will have hand wash and eye wash stations ready and available. These will all be replenished daily, and obviously all site will be part of a cleaning programme, again, which will be daily and logged in the office and obviously in the toilets as well. I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Binch now, obviously to run through the next phase of this presentation. Thank you.
Morning. Morning. Here at Well Construction, we do invest heavily in security to keep the public and the guys that's actually working on site all safe and sound. We will be doing, the security will be doing sort of checks around the perimeter every 2 hours, and then when at night when all the guys have gone, there will be these will continue. Also at the induction stage, all the guys that's obviously coming onto site, they will all ask if they can obviously keep an eye out as well. Any suspicious activity, can it be reported to obviously either one of the team here, so then we can obviously have a look at that and see what we can do about it. All deliveries and traffic will come through one gated access. And like I say, we do invest heavily here at Well Construction, so we've invested in a gated chap on the gate, so he can he will log all deliveries, all you know, sort of registration numbers. So yeah, so we know who's coming in, we know who's going out. So yeah, so if you see this guy, you know you're in the right place. Also, just there with the emergency arrangements and procedures, all information for hospitals, emergency, that will all be in site office, and you'll also, the people that's coming onto site will have all that information at site induction, and it will be sort of dotted around the site. There is appointed first aiders. You'll see these guys will be very distinctive because each one of those will have a green safety helmet on, so should any problems arise, you know, they'll be sort of easy to point out. And at all times we do stress that all entrances, exits must be kept clear at all times, obviously for emergency services, or hopefully nothing happens, but normally on a Well Construction site nothing does happen. So I will pass you now to John. Sorry. No.
Oh,
Emma.
I am the principal designer on the site. There are a number of risks on building sites which the people that work on site will be aware of, but we like to make it so that everyone knows exactly what they're doing and are clear on the risks and how they can actually avoid the risks. There's a list here of some of the ones that we sort of like focus on. This list isn't exhaustive, and there are a number of RAMs that are in the CPP file. All of this information will be gone through on the site induction. People will be made aware of all of the items. They'll be asked to sign to say that they've actually understood how they should be working on the site. And copies of the risk assessments will be with the site foreman on site, so that if anyone has got any questions as to what they should be doing, what PPE they should be wearing, then they can ask the necessary questions. I'll pass you on to Johnny now.
Morning.
Morning.
My name is John Walker. I'm site foreman on this project, and I will be responsible for the scheduling and coordinating and supervising of work of all operatives on site. That all work is delivered safely, on time, on budget, along with managing equipment required on site. While construction will erect signage around the site to warn of hazards, warn off trespassers and prevent access by unauthorised people. Also, a sign requiring all visitors to report to the site office, and all visitors must, I stress must, sign in and out. This is an overview of the signage which will be displayed in and around our site. So I'll hand over to
Next slide.
Yeah. There you go. Read it. Thank you.
Only me again. So yeah, what we decided to do was visit the local school in the obviously aid of community spirit, and we did a presentation similar to this, not as detailed, with the children, and we asked them to design us a site logo that we could sort of emblazon around site, and sort of make them aware that their mum, their dads, mums, brothers, sisters, etc. might all be working on this site. And obviously, while construction, we do like to get involved in community spirit and obviously give a bit back. So this was the winning poster, which was done. This is going to be located all around site, and there's only a few minor site rules on here. There will be a full list in the CPP, which I do encourage you to read, just to familiarise yourself with them. But this is going to be the main one that we're just going to put littered around the site, which is obviously from a winning child. And obviously some of them that you can see is no children on site, always wear protective gear, obviously moving plan, do not jump into holes, etc. Recycling, do not climb onto the machinery. So you will see this dotted about site. We just thought it would be a nice method as such, obviously just to integrate the community with with our building works. Site induction checklist. I'm just going to hand you over to Emma again, and she'll just run through this with you. Thank you.
We touched earlier on the RAMs that that'll be gone through on site with people in the induction. Site induction is going to be held 8 AM daily. That's prompt. If you're late, you miss it. You don't go on site. Everybody in the room will have to be inducted, and that's basically the process. You can go to the site offices, but you can't actually go onto the site. The site induction is going to be taken by John Marriott, the site manager, and we're going to cover a multitude of subjects. That it will include the fire procedures on the site signing in. The site signing in will be done as you actually enter through security. You'll be asked to sign in and sign out daily. If you don't sign out, you will be given a yellow card, 2 yellow cards, it's a red card, and that's it. You'll not be allowed back onto the site. We'll go through site welfare, where you can use the toilets, the kitchen, and we'll also go through site PPE. It will have gone out with the contractor contracts that we are a 5-point PPE site, which means that we all have to wear boots, trousers, high-vis trousers, high-vis jackets which have got long sleeves to protect from the sun, and also from other aspects on the site, goggles and gloves and head protection. training and competency tickets are required for anybody using any machinery on the site. If you haven't got a ticket, you can't use it. If we find out that that's been done, it'll be a yellow card, and as we've just said, 2 yellow cards, there's a red card and you're off. The surrounding awareness of the site, we've got a stream that runs down the back. We've also got contaminated land. We've got a building that's disused, and we've also got the Japanese knotweed as well. So all of that will be incorporated in the site induction, and then we will also go through some of the RAMs. There's some information that will be displayed around the site. The Health and Safety Act poster, we have to display that, that's mandatory. Insurance documents for ourselves, but we also will ask for insurance documents from the people that are coming onto the site. We've touched briefly on it, traffic management plan as to how everybody moves around the site, but when you actually come onto the site initially, before you've had your induction, you'll go into the car park, it'll be signs that you need to go and sign in, and you then also need to go and have your induction before you enter site. And we'll also go through a waste management plan, so that everybody knows that we are going to segregate waste, and there will be areas where you can charge batteries that you might need for your tools. That'll all be gone through in the site induction. Just pass back to Breda.
So yeah, basically on as we're coming to obviously towards the end now, obviously we're going to have an open day, which we thought would be a nice way to sort of hand over the project, generate some publicity, which will benefit obviously you guys as the client, and obviously also us as the contractor. So basically what we've bearing in mind, all this area will be obviously all cleared. There'll be no plant on site, no materials. The car park will be fully operational at that point. So what we've, in terms of the coordination of this particular open day, we're going to, our celebrities will obviously come down Bramley Road over and they'll take a left turn. So what we've proposed to do, there's going to be 2 scaffold sections, one in the corner there and one in that corner.